You're about to learn 8 things you didn't know about the Geely EX5. I've been driving a media loan car for 1 week of the Inspire specification, and I'll tell you all the interesting different things that I've noticed, which a lot of reviewers haven't mentioned. Please contribute. It really helps my independent, honest journalism. When it was first sold in Australia, the Geely EX5 had a sound that was like an ice cream truck, which played externally to warn pedestrians about the car moving at slow speeds. Let's see if they've fixed that as promised. This is what the EX5 sounds like when it's reversing. Inoffensive and easy to hear. But what about when it's moving forwards at slow speeds? This is what it sounds like now. If you want a place to keep things in the back seat stored tidily, there's a hidden storage area underneath the back passenger seats of the Geely EX5. You can store up to 3.5 kilos of kids' toys and other mess to keep it tidy in the back seats. Opposite that, there's another handy bit of bonus spare pull-out storage space underneath the back of the center console. The Geely EX5 looks like it has a really small boot with not much storage space. That's because a huge amount of the storage is hidden underneath the boot floor. 108 litres of space to be exact. Above that is 302 litres of space. You have an adjustable boot floor, so you can either have a flat loading lip or a recessed one to maximize vertical height. Have a look at the space on either side. To give you an idea of how much storage space there is in the boot with the boot floor on the lower recessed level, I put in all of my normal weekly shopping at the supermarket, as well as my trolley, and then I also went to the local greengrocer and did the veggie shopping there as well and put that in, and amazingly all of it fitted. I'm quite surprised because I didn't think that all of it would when I first started. Don't bother looking for a frunk underneath the front hood. Unfortunately, there isn't one, which is quite disappointing because it would have meant it's easy to store gym clothes, take away food, etc. If you're a heavy use of car-connected services, the Geely EX5 does have them inbuilt with an Optus 4G signal into the car, and you cannot change that to Telstra. That's permanently on Optus. The app as well is also available, but it's also free for 2 years. Same with the car data. The car has 2 gig of data per month. Once that 2 gig runs out, you've got to use your own internet Wi-Fi hotspot. Otherwise, you won't get any internet connection with your car. You can just use very basic remote vehicle sensor checking with the app. Not many features. And if someone's already used up the data and you're not willing to use a car hotspot, then tough luck. You won't be able to stream any media with the built-in car mobile SIM. What happens after you've owned the car for 2 years? Great question. Geely has answered that. Basically, you can either have to use your phone Wi-Fi hotspot to access car streaming and online features, or you have to pay Geely, details and pricing yet to be announced, to continue. Now look, they may change their mind and make it free ongoing, like some other brands who've said they had 1 year of car connectivity built in and have never charged anyone afterwards, like MG. But they do reserve the right, like Geely. MG reserves the right after 1 year of free iSmart app usage to start charging for it after a certain notice period of, I think, 60 days. So Geely will probably be the same. Maybe it'll be free still after 2 years, or maybe not. You might have to pay like Tesla per month for advanced connectivity features. Let's see what happens. If you have the top specification Inspire, which is the one I'm testing, then dig around in the menus, vehicle settings, and then comfort seats, and then comfort seats again, and then massage. And you can see on either side, you can individually control. Oh, that's really powerful. Quite powerful for a car. You can actually change 6 different settings, which is a lot more variety than I'm seeing in most cars. So if you've got lower back stiffness, this car will help you potentially with that by loosening up your lower back muscles. You can actually hear it going, I think. Yeah, anyway, not for everyone. But yeah, shoulder as well. Lumbar, interesting. In theory, the pop-out door handles, which are recessed into the body of the car, are supposed to be useful and helpful. However, I wonder if it's because the Geely key fob is really thickly covered in this protective case, but there could be what's causing the automatic door opening and closing proximity sensor to not work reliably. Let's show you what happens most of the time when I walk up to this car. Nothing happens. And I have to use the door manually. Same thing when I leave the car. On quite a few occasions, the doors just don't close. You walk away thinking, oh yeah, the car will lock. But if you don't look back and pay attention and press the key, they won't lock. The other thing with these kinds of door handles, which pop in and out, why is it closing when I'm standing next to the car with the key in my hand? Anyway, is that when they popped out, they actually pop out a fair distance. And if your garage is quite narrow, you may well bump with your hip. So I reckon turn that feature off altogether. The Geely EX5 is different to the MGS5 in a couple of ways. One of those is this car does not have one pedal driving. So if you want to stop at a traffic light, you have to use the brake. You cannot just let your foot off the accelerator and have the car slow down to a complete stop by itself, which is an optional setting, one pedal driving, full regenerative in the MGS5. However, on the other hand, if you want to speed up, the Geely EX5 has noticeably bit more pep to it when it comes to accelerating compared to the MGS5. The Geely EX5 has built-in sat-nav and maps with turn-by-turn navigation and updates along as you go, telling you where to go. Surprisingly, the speaker system is right behind the driver's head, which was a bit surprising to me. I was expecting the sound to come from in front of me. Now, there's one problem though. The problem with not having Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in this car for a large part of 2025 and possibly early 2026 is you don't get proper map directions for roadworks and other issues. The Geely built-in maps just don't have any warnings for stuff like that, so I'm going to be delayed during this trip since I had no idea these roadworks were here, and if I had Android Auto and was running Waze maps, I would have known about them and would have driven in a different direction instead. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. It really helps me make more videos like this for you. And have a look at the suggested videos up above. I'm pretty sure you'll like those as well. Thanks, and see you later.